I have a confession. I've been completely intimidated by this little box on my desk all week. So stick around and let's explore ArtGraf together. Hello creative souls and welcome to this week's video. One of you mentioned these little ArtGraf blocks the other week in the comments. Well, you know me, I couldn't resist. So today we're opening them up together for the very first time and I have absolutely no idea what to expect. And to be honest, I think that's rather the point. Right, so here I have got 6 colours. These are the earth tones. So we've got a sanguine, an ochre, a sepia, a brown, a dark brown and a black carbon. I'm not sure which ones are which because when they arrived from Amazon, they were out of the cork palette, and I said in my short that one of them was actually chipped. I know that the sepia does look a lot lighter. I've watched other artists testing them out and the sepia is quite a surprise. But these are by Viarco, if I've said that right. The Portuguese pencil factory. They're inspired in the traditional tailor's chalk. I am reading this off the back of here. The tailor's chalk was a shape. I think originally it was like a triangle shape, but it was obviously so you could draw with it. It's a rich pigment block prepared for drawing and painting. Extremely soft, water-soluble, and provides the artist with a wide range of shades from light ones to deep and opaque colours. I also got a blue as well. And the reason why I got a blue is because there's obviously not a blue in these earth tones. I thought they'd be great for landscapes, of course. But also I was concerned about how I was going to make a green. And also I wanted to be able to make purples as well. So I'm going to be having a bit of a play with that today. I've got an ArtGraf graphite stick as well. And I grabbed my black China marker because I thought what I would do is in my Sea Whites journal, I'll do a quick landscape. But first of all, I'm going to swatch them out so you can see the gorgeous colours and mix them around a bit and see what colours I can get. Right, so I'm just using one of these cheapy brushes, size 2. I've got some water right here and I'm not sure how to do this. I'm going to dip straight in. You can draw with them, you can make marks, but I'm going to be using them for landscapes. And so I want to see how these work as if I was using them like a watercolour. So they are lovely and pigmented. You can obviously add more water. I don't know if they lift like a watercolour. Let me just have a... Yes, they do. They look like they could be quite staining. Now, straight into the ochre, I think this was. And they're very rich colours, but when I filmed the short, I knew straight away then that I was going to love them, and I am loving them. It's a new medium, so as I said before, it makes me a bit nervous. But the only way you're going to get to know your new materials is to play with them. You're not expected to know everything about them. You just need to have the confidence to play with them. So that one I think was meant to be the sepia. And from watching other artists' videos, I think they were quite surprised at how light it is, because to me that is like a raw sienna maybe. So this is the brown, this is the dark brown, and they are lovely earthy tones. And the last one is black carbon, and the black carbon and the ochre, which is this one, is how I made the green last week. So I'm often asked how I get my landscape colours. So for green, it's rarely straight from the tube for me. I do tend to like to mix my colours. So let's do it on the page. So I'll put the ochre down first, and I'm just going to dip the tip into the black because it's quite a powerful colour. Let's bring that in closer. And as you can see, do it gradually so you don't overpower the yellow, but that makes a really nice sort of olivey green. And then the blue, which is quite a bright blue, it's a bit like ultramarine. I'll just demonstrate that you can draw with that. So you can make marks. It feels quite chalky. I guess that's the whole point because it originates from Taylor's chalk. And let's add some water. What a beautiful blue. So vibrant. And then I've put a little dot here. Dip my brush into the ochre. There we go. And we get a nice olivey green. And then the other colour I wanted to do was like a purple or a mauve. So I put a little dot down, and then I'm going to dip straight into the sanguine here. See if we can get that purple. That's more ready, but I'm sure with a bit more blue and a bit more experimentation, there we go, you can get that sort of purpley colour. It's more sort of indigo, I would say. But this is the bit I love, is to just play. But they dry really nice, they're flat looking. And I'm going to do a quick landscape. So I've just put some blue tape around the edge of this page in my C. White's journal. I've got my Art Graf graphite stick and my China marker, and I'm just going to do a quick sketch. Obviously this is water soluble, so whatever I put on the page, once I apply water, it will sort of disappear, I expect, but we'll soon find out. So I'm just going to put in a landscape that I'm looking at on my desktop at the moment. This was found on Pixabay, and it is a Cumbrian landscape. don't know where, but there's a lot of hills and sort of mountains in the background. There we go. And I'm just going to leave it at that. And like I say, once I go over the top, I think what will happen is that we'll find that that sort of disappears. Now I'm going to get a big loose brush. I find that landscapes really relax me. They are a good stress buster, especially if you're not aiming for perfection. So I'm just grabbing some kitchen roll. And I'm just trying not to think too hard about the sky, but I'm going to get a little bit of blue in. And there you have it. Can you see that's the graphite stick is just sort of melting away. And I think that in itself gives a lovely what's the word I'm looking for? Hue, tone, I don't know. Let's go in with a little bit of black carbon. Just let it do its thing. And then I'm going to come down here. I want a green. So I'm going to go in with the yellow. And then I'm going to be brave and go in with the black and see if it mixes on the page. And if it doesn't, it really doesn't matter, does it? Just beautiful colours. I'm trying to use all the colours. What haven't I used? Dark brown. And let's go with that one. So we've got lots of bleeding here into the sky. No matter. Right, I'm just going to let that dry for a bit. So I've just grabbed my mixing palette because I want a green. And I'm not settling for anything less. So that's with the yellow and the carbon black. And then I'm going to go in with the brighter blue and the yellow. There we go. Nice. And then I'm just going to go in again. Sweeping movements. Waiting for the mountains to dry at the back. And I'm going to go in again, define them a bit more. And then leave the ones in the far distance. And then with my black ArtGraf pencil, I'm going to redefine some of the lines. I'm not going to get too fussy. It's easy to fuss. I don't want to fuss. This is meant to be just a quiet little play in my sketchbook. And then we've got the distant mountains in the background. And should we go up here? There we go. I think we're done. So that's my finished piece. I'm really quite taken with how this pigment dries back. It's softer and it makes it more atmospheric. Well, that was a lovely little breather. Not perfect by any means, but it felt good to use something that I've never used before, just sitting here with you. Let me know in the comments, have you ever played with these before? Are you holding on to a supply that you've not been using because you're too scared to break into them? Anyway, it just leaves me to say, thank you for watching.